kid who swings a golf club like a dream. I'd like to try to qualify him for the U.S. Amateurs.
Coming to Apple TV Plus.
What's your name?
I'm not into older guys, but I'm flattered.
A new comedy series, Stick.
I don't want to go on this trip.
Your mouth's saying one thing, but those eyes are saying something else.
From the home of Ted Lasso.
This is your shot at redemption? This is your mulligan?
Owen Wilson.
This game takes and it takes. The game's finally giving me something back.
Stick.
You know Arnold Palmer?
Iced tea, lemonade, mix it.
I'm missing a nap for this.
Streaming June 4th on Apple TV Plus.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We may live over 5,000 miles from Lincoln Financial Field, but what we lack in proximity, we make up for in film study. And each and every week, we'll be bringing you in-depth film breakdowns from across the pond and the Sooner State. Welcome to On the Shane Page. I am your host, Shane Haff. You can follow me on Twitter at ShaneHaffNFL. I'm joined by BGN's own film guru, Jonny Page. Give him a follow on Twitter at JohnnyPage9. Jonny, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Everything is good. It's the calm part of the year, isn't it? I'm not rushing around to write things. I did actually write something very different for me, Shane. I don't know if you saw it. I wrote about Nick Sirianni the other day. I reckon it's my first piece in about 9 years that wasn't film related. And I actually had some good comments. And whenever I started doing this, I didn't actually want to be a film guy. I always saw, funny enough, we spoke to Tommy Doyle the last episode. That was like my goal, was to be like a blogger. And then film became my thing. But I quite enjoyed getting out the older, just writing without film for once. Don't worry, I'm not going to suddenly change what I do, but I was just intrigued to see how it went down. And I had quite a lot of nice comments on BGM, which was good. So yeah, it's good. I need to finish writing about these rookies. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go back and write about. So I'm going to be a little bit busy this week writing about them. But yeah, we're going to get some All-22 as always. Bit of a weird one because it's Patreon one, but it's also going in the free one because it's this time of year. I will just say a random shout out as well, Shane. For anyone that listens to the show and likes film stuff, I don't know if you've ever come across them as well. If any of you have never read the books by Bobby Peters, we're currently reading the 2022 Detroit Lions manual, and it's just really, really good. If you want to like sort of look at how different offenses work, I've got about 5 or 6 of them now, but it's really cool learning about like how the Lions run game is in particular. It's so like gap scheme heavy, and it's just a really cool book. If you like the X's and O's, I'm literally just reading it now, which is why I'm saying this. But yeah, if anyone's interested in X's and O's and wants to learn more, it's a really good little resource to learn a lot of just plays, but also like how different teams run them and how different teams stop them. So I'm enjoying that currently. That's the off season for me, is reading about more X's and O's things, basically.
Yeah, the off season for me so far has been like laying concrete foundations for garden beds and
and bringing up a kid for me. Yeah, that's what I'm reading.
Little League baseball season wrapping up, and we're about to head into summer league. So Jonny and I live very different lives. But
yes, we do. It's quite funny.
It is funny. We meet in the middle with the Eagles film stuff, and
Yeah.
That's what you came to hear us talk about. You didn't come for the diatribe about how I had laid these concrete blocks and mortared
That's
them
the
together.
Patreon Discord. That's what that's for.
That's true. I have been posting some pictures in there. Of the
I
farm
decided
animals.
about a tenth of your garden might be bigger than my entire house, but that's the joys of living in a very populated area.
Yes.
Compared to a giant farm.
Yeah, which is actually a pretty small farm for this area,
right.
but would be massive for where
right.
you are.
Yeah.
But
Big
yeah,
enough.
so you guys have, if you're in the Patreon, you've seen us do these All-22 watch-alongs for various teams in the playoffs. You've seen us do it for Jihad Campbell. We did a couple games of Andrew Makuba. If you're in the public feed, you did get to see the Jihad Campbell one. But
yes.
we simply cannot put all 22 college stuff, as we found out with the Campbell one. We can't put that out there. So all we can do with the video is get it into our Patreon, because we're not going to get demonetized there or accounts suspended or anything like that. So those of you on the audio platform, you're going to hear our thoughts as we watch this game along. It won't be like our in-season podcast with points put together and plays packaged. It's just going to be us watching the game and talking about it. And you're going to miss a lot of context just listening. And so I would very much encourage you guys to go join the Patreon. It's $5 a month, and you get all kinds of content, access to the Discord server. If you get a free 1-week trial, so you can come check it out and see if you think it's worth it. I think you'll like it. If that's not your thing, that's totally fine. You'll be able to glean some things from listening to us talk on the audio platform, but like I said, it's a really hectic time of the year for me right now, and we just don't have the time to record separate shows for Patreon and for the public feed. So in the public feed, you'll have the audio. If you would like more, come join the Patreon, even if it's just for a month, and get through all of these prospects with us, and then you can reevaluate, see if you still like it. And so we're going to dive into Ty Robinson film. We have the All-22 footage of Ty Robinson, the Eagles. I think it was 4th round pick, right? Because they traded out of the 3rd. 4th round pick out of Nebraska, playing against Ohio State. So Jonny, shall we stop waffling around and hit play?
Yes, let's do it. Full context, just very briefly. I don't think you've watched your 22 of this game, have you?
I have not.
So I watched the start of it, and then I ended up not finishing it, actually, because full disclosure, I don't know if you're the same, but when I'm scouting players, if I'm watching a lot of film and I get to the point where I'm like, I know what I'm seeing, I often stop. So I sort of was like, I think I know what he's like, and then I stopped because I'd already basically had enough to write up about him. But I would say in the first 5 minutes, I thought it was an awesome game to watch. So if this is the first one you're watching of these college All-22, I think this is quite a fun one, because Ty Robinson's a bit of a whirlwind. I described him as like a bull in a china shop, and you will get that vibe. Also, for those of you watching, there is a lovely little arrow that points to where he is, which also helps. So let's get into it.
All right.
And we
gotta love college offenses. Bubble screen to the perimeter.
Yeah, we won't spend the whole episode moaning about bubble screens away from him. Not every play is like it, I promise.
Bubble screens and RPOs.
Yeah, bubble screens and RPOs, yeah.
So he's in the A gap on that play and fires off into the center. I'm
not feeling like I can bother, but if anyone at home wants to just track where he lines up, I'm telling you, he will line up in so many different places in the first 5-6 minutes of this game. You'll see it almost straight away.
So now he's B gap on the opposite side of the ball, taking on a double team.
He's like, I'm surprised when you look at his size that he plays so much interior, as in like A gap. But he does. It's they used him quite a lot. I think his pressures at nose was really, really successful.
He was lined up like inside shade on the right tackle there, and ends up looping inside to the center. So a lot of lateral mobility here. I mean, you can see he's like a 4-eye right now.
Yeah, wait till he chases down stuff on outside zone. If you talk about lateral ability, I think that's probably his best trait from what I watched of him. I'm sure there'll be a few reps in this game. I'm sure there were reps when I was like, tick that box. Now he's back inside again. I mean, he's almost like a shaded like a nose tackle, isn't he, basically?
Yeah.
I think you can see immediately he's not like absolute, which is what you'd expect for a 4th round pick. He doesn't like fly off the screen every snap. There are some snaps when he really jumped, but I don't think his testing numbers. You can see though he's really active with his hands. That's why he loves to use his hands.
Nice club move there.
Yeah, I think the question I have actually is whether he takes too long sometimes to get off blocks in reps like that, whether in the NFL level it'll take a little bit too slow. But some reps he does fly off the ball.
Yeah.
You can really see it at some points.
And now he's back out on the right tackle, it looked like on that one.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see the gap. Yeah. On the right tackle. No, he takes on the right guard, but
yeah. It's a nice little word with a nice little bit of intensity for those watching. You enjoyed that one. I'm guessing that was an important stop. Nothing to do with him, but
yeah,
take your wins where you can get them.
Now he really is truly a nose tackle.
He's truly a nose tackle. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about lateral movement. This is all over his film, Shane. I'm sure you saw it as well, but I think from your 22 angle, you really get an idea. This is all over his film. Look how square he is.
I mean, he knows exactly. He knows exactly where that play is going. It's because as soon as the ball snapped, the center is getting wide. So that's outside zone tape. All the way.
That is teach tape. Yeah, that is.
He just carries it out.
I think he gets lucky where I think a safety comes down and takes a safety off. A safety comes down and takes the center away.
Linebacker.
But I think he's winning anyway. I think he's winning. Yeah, linebacker. I think he's winning anyway.
Well, even if he doesn't make the stop, he strings it out, which is what he needs to do. Like on outside zone, if you can make him cut back,
that's your job.
into this linebacker that's pursuing right here, that's your job. Like there's nowhere to go inside, so he did his job. He's able to shed inside because of that linebacker, but he did his job regardless.
Fascinating to see him playing nose, isn't it?
It is,
Like I just can't see the Eagles doing it. But he's 290 pounds or something. I mean, who knows? Maybe he does. Maybe he does end up.
Almost got the quarterback there.
Yeah, maybe he does end up at nose. Occasionally on certain plays. I think it's unlikely, but he can do it. He did it in college. I don't know if I want him doing it at the next level, but who knows?
89th percentile height, 50th percentile weight.
Yeah, this is where I think that's the kind of rep where you see a day 3 pick. With all due respect, there's a one-on-one there. You expect him to hopefully do better. And it's fine, but I think, as I said to you, when he doesn't win it early, he can get stuck. I sort of think pass rushing moves are a bit overrated, as in every single draft analyst will say about every single edge rusher or every single defensive tackle, he needs more counter moves. You say that all the time, but I think sometimes I don't really believe you need a huge amount of moves, but I think sometimes you can see it with him.
He basically never tries to throw a move there.
I don't think he does. I think he's got, to be fair, I think he does have pass rush moves, but I think he uses the same ones over again. I think the weird thing about him, Shane, is he's so good with his arms, but his arm length wasn't great. You can see it there. His arm length doesn't look particularly long. But on some reps where he's so good with them, he looks really good.
I'm not sure if they were trying to run a stunt there or what, but that didn't work.
No. You can see already, once again, different position.
Yeah, his arm length was 15th percentile.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's weird because it's a massive strength of his, but there are reps when you see it limit him. That's a weird stunt. I don't really blaming him for.
It's almost like he tried to stunt and the edge didn't get the memo to loop inside.
I would say at this point, Shane, what were we 5 minutes for the video? He's lined up 4 different alignments on both sides of the field as well.
Yeah, it's like he's a gap defender on the left side. Yeah. And he's a B gap defender on the right side.
Here he is.
And then he had that nose tackle
A gap shade. Yeah, I think he's pretty easily moved there.
Yeah, that's probably that getting outside is probably on him.
Yeah, that's the 208 pounds coming up again. I mean,
if you watch, I mean, if there is a run on this play, it's likely coming your way just because it's shotgun with the running back offset and the tackle gets in on him. I mean, he gets the double team, but
I don't know what happens to the linebacker as well.
Oh no, it's on that. It's on that.
That's on the backer. Yeah, that's on the backer.
That's on the backer. Never mind.
What the hell the backer's doing there? 42.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually he gets in his gap after all. Ty Robinson.
Yeah, I did not.
Matters.
I didn't see the backer jump the gap the
That's
first
why,
time.
If you're not watching film like this,
he still is moved too easily on that rep.
Yeah,
he ends up taking up the space he needs to.
Yeah, I really like this rep. It's a shame he doesn't. I don't know if you want to count this as the pressure. I know you said PFF didn't chart him as any in this one. but I think you see the get off when it does work. I mean, I quite like that turn. It's a bit of a strange one for a defensive tackle. I say it's pretty good. He looks a bit clunky,
tackle twist,
but I think he's got good ankle flexibility. I think he moves pretty well. I think he's almost unfortunate. I think he's looking at the ref as if to say he got pushed in the back there. I think he may have, because the way he lands, you get the feeling that, that's a shove in the back. The ball might have already gone, so maybe they haven't flagged it. But
that's the second time they've used him as the pick guy to set up like a TE stunt and then a tackle or DT twist.
Yeah,
they like to use him first on that.
Yeah, see, he doesn't tackle, but that's really good. That's really good. Sometimes you'd have to make the players defensive tackle.
I really dislike that there is a 0 and a 9 on their defensive line. Makes it hard to pick him out sometimes.
He's basically winning with one hand there, isn't he? That's one of those reps where it looks easy.
Yeah.
In a good way. He didn't look challenged on that rep.
Sometimes he anchors pretty well against the run, and other reps, it's like, man, he got moved really easily. I don't know if you'll
notice this, but I think he anchors better when he's moving side to side.
Oh, that's a great rep.
Yeah, how PFF aren't charging as a pressure shame. When you told me there wasn't any in this game, I was like, that's not my recollection of what I watched.
Yeah, lined up as a nose tackle and again, they're trying to run a twist with him there. Like he's trying to pick off that guard, and the guard just doesn't pay attention, and he slips through. That's a really good rep.
Shane, explain to me how that's not a pressure.
Yeah, I don't know. He's only grabbing his arm as he throws it.
Yeah, that's a really, really good rep. That's your quickness. That's your look at that swipe or club, whatever you want to call it. Bang, gone.
Yeah.
And I think the flexibility is pretty good as well. I mentioned about the turning. I think this is when I stopped watching it because I was like, I've seen it. I'd already watched enough games and I'd already had in my notes outside zone strong. And I was like, yeah. I sort of felt like I'd seen enough.
That's my favorite rep so far.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Don't like ending up on the ground there. I mean, it's a runaway, so it ultimately didn't matter. Did he get cut? Did he just slip?
It was like a dived under him. It was slightly odd.
Yeah, that was weird.
He just sort of lost his balance. I do think he's probably the most hyped Eagles rookie, I would say, in terms of like outside the obvious, which is interesting because he's a 4th round pick. I think people, because he's older, like here's an interesting line. Now he's playing.
Now he's a full-on edge rusher.
Now he's a full-on edge as part of a 3-man front. And that's something the Eagles will like because then you can easily kick. For example, you could line him up there pre-snap and then bring someone else in.
Yeah. He didn't do much with it, but
no, you can see there he's not shocked. He's not going to be a full-time edge.
Yeah, this is another rep where it's just like throw a move. Like he tries to just push the pocket and it doesn't work. Like throw a move, throw something. This is the thing I got irritated about with Nolan Smith like late 2 seasons ago, and in the preseason this year. I was like, he's just not ever throwing a move. It's just bull rushing. And then obviously he went on to have a great year. So you can learn that stuff. You can pick it up quickly.
Yeah, and it's interesting because both of them are undersized as well. So you'd say both of them won't have success doing it, and Nolan did.
Yeah.
You can see how well he moves side to side, can't you?
Yeah, for sure. There they shifted him from left A gap to the right.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Gap. 4-eye.
Already. Yeah, he really is all over the place. Like he doesn't really have a chance on the toss play, but he gets out there and helps out. He's just a weird looking athlete. He doesn't look anywhere near like a knight. If you'd asked me to watch his fit, and I'll be honest, I think some of it might be like the bulky, like lower half white guy type vibe he's got going on as well. If you had told me he run like a 9.55 RAS or whatever, I'd have been like, really? I don't mean that to be negative. That's just for a defensive tackle. You think top. Now he's here.
Because he's not above.
Right, sorry, yeah.
He's not above 85th percentile in any metric other than his height. But he's also
RAS
just like
weird sometimes, isn't it?
But he's also just not bad at any of them except the 3 cone.
It's just the burst. Sometimes you really see it, and sometimes you really don't.
Yeah,
like there you see it. He nearly got through. He's got a really, I don't know if there's something unusual about his build though, isn't it? Look at him there. He gets a bit unlucky because he gets doubled.
Yeah, that's a really nice rep though. He gets the jump inside.
I mean, look how easily he crosses the face here. I mean, that guy's gone without a second defender.
Yeah.
A little bit of a scouting jargon, whatever you want to call it, crosses the face, jump inside it. But basically the guy, he just doesn't even get hands on him, does he? Like without help there. You can see the quick switch.
He's definitely at his best trying to penetrate gaps.
Yes.
Then he is trying to like stack and shed.
This is the weakness as well. I want one-on-one. When you get matchups like this and you get everyone around, he's sort of pushed away there. He looks 288 there. I think stronger guards are gonna have their way with him at times, in all honesty. I think he's a bit of a gadget type in how you maybe want to use him.
Which makes it even more weird that they
I have just realised, by the way, Shane, I was literally thinking he's going up against someone good. 74 is Donovan Jackson, isn't it?
That sounds
That's
right.
the first round. I'm pretty sure he's going up against. So this is a really good game to watch, actually, because a couple of times 74 has done him. And Donovan Jackson, I really liked.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where I had him. I think I had him very high. I've forgotten everything about the draft now. I had him round 1, round 2, but I had him high. I wasn't shocked that he went round 1 at all.
I think I was lower on him. I had him 36 overall.
Yeah. I had him. Actually, I said he 50 games of experience, good football IQ, good player. So it's just worth pointing out. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm mental, 74 is Donovan Jackson. So he's playing against proper talent there. And you'll be honest, at the moment, he's lost a few one-on-ones against him. I'd like to see him win one of them against him now. By the way, look at what Donovan Jackson does to Nault here. Not this Donovan Jackson pod, but you wrecks him.
Yeah.
That's a really good rep. That's a really good rep by Ty Robinson. That's really good. I'm trying to watch that one once more again. This is where he's confusing because he looks like a player here that I think has good arm length because he sometimes does a really good job at keeping offensive linemen off of him.
Yeah, that's a good rep.
Shoves him there.
Takes it play side and then sheds.
If you watched his best 5 plays of every game, you'd think he was a first-round pick, wouldn't you? Like, there's a few really... I mean, look at this position he's in.
Now he's an edge again.
He's an edge as part of a 4.
What?
He looks
to get his hands up in passing lanes. That's the second or third time I've seen him jump when a quarterback swings his eyes.
He can't get there. Go for it. I mean, he's now been what? An edge as part of a 3, A gap, B gap, nose tackle, edge as part of a 4. If you're counting, I reckon he's been in 6 different alignments in 11 minutes of film.
Yep.
And sometimes I don't know if that's good or bad. You sort of hope. A lot of people say he won't get better because he's old, but there's an argument that if you simplify his role, he might get better at times. Like, this is where you're not going to want him at a nose tackle. I mean, in a weird way, he commands double team, so who cares? But he's got no chance against Donovan Jackson and 58. I don't think his ball has a lot of... I don't think his ball rush has much pop to it. I think that's what I would like to see more of. I think he's better at winning by crossing the face. Like good arm usage. I don't think he jumps off the screen in terms of like pop. I said that to you at the start. He doesn't often like... I want to see him win early more often and really push a guy backwards.
Yeah.
This is an interesting rep.
He gets rolled up there.
Yeah,
I like check the timeline to make sure that wasn't his last play because I saw his leg get pinned there.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like he's fine. Again. This is the next play and he's out there.
Part of a 3-man front.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad rep.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? He tried to get in. As always, I don't know if he's been told to try and penetrate early or tries to get upfield early, doesn't he?
He tries to cross the face of Donovan Jackson and ends up getting pushed out of the gap backwards.
I do think it is interesting, is the amount of people I've seen just sort of seamlessly saying a Jomo replaces Milton Williams and this guy replaces a Jomo. I'm like, I like Ty Robinson's film and I think he's absolutely a useful player. But I think calm down if you think he'll just instantly walk in and be better.
Yeah, no.
I think he's a very useful backup because he can play so many roles. I'd be very interested to see if he actually takes one, though. or whether he's more of a utility guy that plays whenever they need someone to play a certain position.
There, he's got his hands up in a passing lane again. He definitely has plays where he flashes, but overall, like his consistency down in and down out's not very good.
It's almost like fourth round pick, Shane. That's what you expect, isn't it? And the question is, can he get to the highs more at his age? Can he reach the peaks more often? This is one where he's close again against a double.
How old is he?
24.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's 25 during the season, I think.
Turns 25 in May, it looks like. No, turns 24 in May.
Oh, maybe it's 24.
It's the end of May. He just turned 24 at the beginning of May.
There we go. So he'll be 24 in the season. Like, look at him there. Like, that's a ridiculous rep. That's really good. As I said, I mean, look where he is here. So this is, again,
heads up on the tackle.
He's basically part of a 5-man front, basically over the tackle, and he just wrecks the tackle. I mean, that's like an edge quickness. That's an edge defender. Like, the guy's build is so weird. Just watch that once more again. Like, if I told you this was a 260-pound edge defender who is lined up over the tackle, he doesn't just beat him. He then has the flexibility and bend. Look at this to come inside.
Yeah.
Like, look at him run the corner there. I think he said his free cone was poor, but like you could tell me that's an edge. You could tell me that's a 265-pound big edge. Like, and then he's playing nose tackle. How many players can do that? And then the next rep, this happens.
Yeah.
He's a bizarre. Donovan Jackson's he's giving it to Donovan Jackson after the play, which is interesting because you've been getting done, my friend. I don't know if he's unhappy with something.
Oh, he got
Grips.
He kind of got leg whipped there.
He's almost telling him. I think he's telling him, "You didn't get me. I fell over." But how many players, Shane, can you think of that could play like that rep at edge we just saw 2 seconds ago, and then also play nose tackle? Like, that's a very peculiar player.
This rep's not really on him. His foot just gets tangled up with the tackle.
Yeah, that's what he's telling him.
He gets washed out, I'm sure, but he doesn't get put on the ground. If he's interesting because like part of me is like drop 10 pounds and play edge, and part of me is like gain some weight and mass so you can stand up against the run on the interior a little more. Like he feels like he's kind of a tweener.
Yeah, they like him on stunts, don't they? Wow, that's wide open.
Yeah.
The stunts haven't had a huge amount of success yet.
No, they really haven't. They keep trying them. They keep running them at Donovan Jackson.
This is Nebraska, Ohio State, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was absolutely here, Shane. I watched this game in person. How cool is that? I absolutely went to Ohio State to watch Nebraska. So unless they played each other twice this year. Yeah, I was absolutely there. How random. My only college game I've ever been to in my life. I think I was about 8 shots of Jello in at this point. So
he does a good job of kicking down on that puller on this play.
Yeah.
Lined up in the A gap, you get a guard pulling at you, and he does a good job of kind of taking him on.
Yeah, doing it now. Bang.
Now we're back in
incredibly embarrassing for Ohio State, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Oh, it was. It was bad. They played awful.
I follow college football so much less than I used to.
I mean, I don't follow it at all, unless I'm there, in which case, go Ohio. Yeah, he's. I feel like it's not been spoken about enough how weird of a player Ty Robinson is. I find him utterly bemusing in nearly every way. I'd love to say I know what he's going to be. I mean, look there again, just shove someone. There's been about 2 reps where he's shoved someone off like they're not even there, like strength. Then there's plays where he ends up on the ground, but he bends like an edge. Then he's a nose tackle taking on a double team and anchoring. Here he's back.
Big up.
The quickness here. I think it's a tackle again. Yeah, like good night. It does feel like, doesn't it? When it's not Donovan Jackson, he plays well. When it's Donovan Jackson, he struggles, which is always a bit worrying because everyone's going to be as good as Donovan Jackson in the NFL. Most likely. I mean, Jackson's a first-round pick, so it's a bit harsh. There are some bad offensive linemen out there, but, there are some very good ones as well.
Right.
Here he is again as 5-man front lined up.
play away
Nothing
from him,
major.
really.
You haven't seen many obvious pass rushing snaps, have you?
No. And it seems like a lot of the runs since the very early game have been going away from him.
And that's also classic college football. It's hard to evaluate. Yeah, there was a really good post the other day. I mentioned him to Fair actually by No Flags film. Was James Foster, and he wrote a really good piece of wide left about edge rushers and sort of implied by the end of it that like pass rush moves are sort of overrated. Have two, basically. Two ways of winning. 2 or 3 ways of winning and just nail them. And I feel like Robinson's a little bit of needs to maybe work on like 1 or 2 things. Like he doesn't make a play there, but I like that.
Yeah, he gets good penetration on this one. And then I mixed him up with Zero and was watching Zero for the rest of the play.
I've done that about 8 times in this pod.
But yeah, he does a good job of like collapsing that in.
That's really good. There's nothing you can do about the play. Just the result is irrelevant to how. Like that's what I want to see more of. I want to see more pop. Whether he needs to add 10, 15 pounds to do that, I don't know. Here he is, bang at nose tackle again.
Yeah.
And he gets nothing because it's Donovan Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never a threat on this play.
No, he's really struggling against.
A little more of like a one technique there than a nose, but
I must admit, I actually probably made the right decision when I watched this to turn the game off after the first bit. I think the first 5 minutes was his best bit of play.
Yeah.
I think actually the second half he struggled quite a bit. As I keep saying, 4th round pick. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the way some people speak about him, as I said, is like he's going to effortlessly replace Jomo. I mean, I don't know if you saw any of Eagles Eric's video the other day, but shot call right, Jomo's really good.
Yeah.
That's so draw. How they got him as a 7th round pick, man, I will never know.
I mean, I would expect Robinson to play a role this year, but I don't think he's going to play a lot.
He will. I don't think he's going to play a lot. I don't know where he's going to play. As I said to you before, like look at him here. He's pretty much run over by a double here. But he's just all over the place.
Yeah,
like he's. I just as a defensive staff, I'm like, let the guy play somewhere and at least like he's left, right. They're all just like. How many times has he played the same position with the same people in this game?
Yeah, if you want
to,
like take a Jalen Carter and move him around some because you've got a master plan, okay. But if you're a college coach, maybe just like let a guy play a position.
I tell you what, he is seriously intense after the play. There is a lot of chatter. The Eagles like defensive linemen who talk. They've got a few. Brandon Graham wasn't shy about it. Jalen Carter's not shy about it.
Yeah,
he loves to chat afterwards.
He's the edge here again, right?
Now he's very wide. I haven't seen the arrow on this play, but I assume he was at the right. There he is.
Oh,
yeah. Now he's very wide.
Yeah, quick screen.
Yeah, he's not. He's too big to play edge. Like, let's be real. You might be able to take a rep there, but
I could only see the 9 on 90. I thought he was the wide 9 guy. I was like, no, that's bizarre.
That's very wide. He's still pretty wide though.
Yeah. Can't tell much there. It's just a quick screen away.
We haven't seen him much outside zone, which might be deliberate.
That's it. That was the last play.
Yeah, the best reps were the outside zone reps early on, weren't they?
Without a doubt. Think so. So, yeah, I mean, we've kind of said it. We've talked all throughout it, but 4th round pick, I think people have to come back to that. I can see where people would get really hyped watching like a highlight reel of Ty Robinson because there's some really good plays in there. There's some flashes, and that's exciting. That's what you want, an athletic guy with some flashes. But watching him down in, down out, there's a lot of inconsistency. To me, the 2 biggest negatives for him, I see him get moved in the run game a lot. Like he can't really drop anchor or stack and shed. He has to like cross your face or jump a gap and penetrate in the run to be effective. And then there's too many reps where he just gets stonewalled and he doesn't really throw a move. And credit to him, he does a good job getting his hands up in those situations, but I would like to see him try to throw moves a little more often than he does. But you can see the athleticism. He's quick off the ball. You can see the versatility. I'm not sure where the Eagles will try to slot him in. That'll be the really interesting thing for me is what role they envision him playing.
It might be one of those where we just all overrate it and he just plays like free technique, 4-eye, done. And the whole college nose tackle, edge defender nonsense, the Eagles are like, yeah, that's not happening. I'll basically read what I said in my film review because I think, to be honest, I haven't changed much there. And again, it's funny how sometimes, like, obviously I don't write headlines BGN and people can read the comments and like they think when they read the strengths, they think, but I always try and be pretty like honest in my analysis at the end. And I said, he isn't a flashy athlete. I simply didn't see the explosiveness and power on film that made me think he'd be an outstanding starter. He looks like someone should be consistent, versatile, and someone who can plan a rotation immediately. I'm not sure he has the physical traits to ever become a high-level starter, especially considering his age. But I feel pretty convinced he will have a role as a rookie and play well. The interesting thing is the Eagles said, Howie Roseman was said in his, all of the videos afterwards, the post-draft stuff, I'm sure you've watched them, where he said, like, day 3, we shoot for starters, we shoot for stars, we shoot for stars. And I put in the end of the article, I said, I'll be honest, the Eagles say they reach for stars and shoot for upside, but this feels like a very safe option after losing Milton Williams in free agency. It felt like the Eagles badly needed someone to contribute immediately, and Ty Robinson should be able to step in and play from day 1, considering his age. He's not likely to be a star, but he should be a dependable role player for years. That's sort of how I feel. Again, watch the highlight reel, and you'll think he's going to be the next Ajomo, Milton Williams. I think in reality, he'll probably be a decent player whose versatility will really benefit the Eagles. But it's a fascinating example, isn't it, of film versus testing. And it'd be really interesting because it could be Shane, but the film doesn't help him. And he's actually a really good he's a freak athlete. I mean, his numbers, Shane, are out of this world. Out of this world. 9.91 RAS, 18th out of 1,800 defensive tackles going back from 1987. We are talking top 20 when he officially started his testing. I think it dropped after his pro day numbers, but like elite explosion grade, broad jump elite, vertical elite speed, elite 40-yard dash, elite 10-yard split, and outrageously good 10-yard split as well. Like 40-yard of 4.83, which ranks as an RAS score, whatever you want to calculate it, but basically top in terms of RAS score. Yet you watch the film and you were to say that guy's a top 20 all-time defensive tackle athlete, you'd say, sorry, is he?
Yeah.
And who knows? That's where college is so interesting. You might get him in the Eagles team, the Eagles might send him to something else, and all of a sudden you'll see that player burst. And that's why they put these people through so much testing. But yeah, he's going to be a really interesting one to watch. I think he's the most fascinating rookie. I think Makuba's a close second because of his size. But I think except for Makuba's size, he's pretty predictable. I think Robinson is a total wild card, which makes him fun.
Over under 175 defensive snaps this season for Ty Robinson.
Over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So last year DT5 was Thomas Booker, and he got 166 snaps.
Yeah, I think he'll do that just because of what he can do.
Yeah, and you lose Milton Williams, who gave you 501 defensive snaps. So you got to replace that somewhere. I can't imagine you ramp Jalen Carter's snaps up more. So, Jordan Davis, Moro, Ojimo, Thomas Booker, and Ty Robinson. I think, does he out-snap Thomas Booker? I would assume he does.
Yeah, I think he will. If not, it's disappointing for a third round. Right. I think we'll leave it there. And we'll get to a couple of other players.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert for those of you listening now. We're about to record Mac McWilliams. And so if you enjoyed this one, head over to the Patreon and consider subscribing there. And you can view the actual film or just stay tuned here on the public feed and you'll get our audio of that one too. But we are going to get out of here and get to recording that one. And we will catch you guys next time.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me. Today's topic, he's round with soft pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, crust.
New Vitamin Water Zero Sugar Pineapple Passion Fruit is packed with vitamins. Just like the amount of peas we packed in that sentence. It's packed like your tote bag. The one you stole from your ex. Or your overpriced half a studio apartment. Or extra rushed rush hour traffic. Packed like your calendar. Triple booked at 5, of course. Grab a Vitamin Water. Did we mention it's packed with vitamins?
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
You're the perfect blend of elegance and style, and your ride should be no different. The 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid meets all your needs, from business to brunch and everywhere in between. With head-turning details like a sleek front end, plus stylish interior, and an available 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and seamless tech integration. Okay, Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more about the new 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid.